Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2, where we are, I think, rapidly developing into the galaxy's major military power. Probably, whatever way we choose to win the game here is going to be on the back of us being able to blow up everybody else in the game. That's my plan. Let's get good at blowing up everybody. So, to that end, I really do want to get one of these large ships out. Let's have a look at our options for these large ships. First of all, it's a cool looking ship. Secondly, we have a couple of things going on here. First of all, different sizes of ship have different module multipliers. It does what it says in the tooltip, right? Every module we put on the ship is actually 4 modules, except that really large ships have extra bonus slots, the heavy mount slot, which is twice the DPS in cost, or 8 total modules of whatever type we put in here. It can mount weapons or special modules, and by special modules, it means there are a couple of types of super weapon that can go in this slot. The fleet, I can't remember what it's called. Hold on. I'll go find it. There's a weapon that we can research that damages the entire enemy fleet all at once. I think that's how it works. It's been a little while since I've had one. There you go, the blast effect battery. Fires once every phase, just hits everything. It's pretty cool. We don't have access to these yet. Will we bother to get them? I don't know. Probably not, honestly. It's pretty cool, but it's not so much better than just equipping your ships with real weapons that I'm going to bother probably to get it. So, part of the value of this ship over the mediums is that it does not cost any Hyperium or Titanium to build. We're still pretty short on those resources. I would like to run a bunch of these beautiful Titanium A2S slug modules. Remember, every module on the ship is actually 4 modules, so each Titanium A2S slug module that we put in here would lower the enemy manpower by 28 per turn. We have so many slots that can be utility slots. We could really crash enemy populations very quickly here and remove that whole awkward sieging phase from every battle, but that adds a titanium cost to the ship, and it's pretty considerable, right? Because it is actually 4 of the modules. So each one of these that we put in would be 4 titanium. For now, we're going to skip that. We're going to try to solve our problems on the planet's surface by overwhelming them with superior manpower rather than just sieging them out. There are some modules that we're going to want to pick up to bolster that. First things first, there's absolutely no reason to ever use the basic warp drive, not when we have these scavenge ram scoops. Secondly, I think I'm going to put 2 in, just get this thing really going. A 15% repair at the end of battle on 31,000 hit points is actually pretty significant. These modules are a lot more interesting on this ship than they have been on our previous ships. However, let's have a look at our weapon modules before we make any big decisions here. So, let's confirm. As we've been moving up the military quadrant, we haven't actually been researching any weapons modules, but each tier has a couple of weapon modules on it that you just get for free for getting up to that tier. So we have 61 DPS missiles available to us now, 19 DPS beam that's not actually better than the beam than the laser weapons that we already have. But those 61 DPS missiles are probably winners, right? Hard for me to imagine that we want to use the lasers over those. Yeah, 61's real high. Now, obviously, there is the danger that we run into enemy ships that have bullet weapons on them, but large ships fire an awful lot of missiles at once. It's hard to shoot them all down. The enemy has to have an awful lot of bullet weapons to keep you from doing any damage at all. So I do want to throw a kinetic enhancer into one of these support slots. And like I said, engines and engines, and maybe we end up without any of that repair nonsense. I say nonsense. The repair modules are good. I just don't think they're better than moving faster and doing more damage. I sure do love to do more damage. So I think this is going to be our basic large ship design. It's a little bit more expensive than the base design, but it's also very, very effective. Extremely killy. So give me one of those, and we shall rule the galaxy with it. It shall be our Star Destroyer. We could start building another one. That's maybe not a great play. We should probably just get miners unions and stuff going here. Right, we have both of our early strategics. We should try to get as many of them as possible. Oh, hey, look at that, a guardian. This is a thing we didn't have the opportunity to have happen to us previously. Some planets just have these guardians. They're sort of like elementals that are an expression of the planet in some way, and also the Unfallen are really good at finding them. In fact, the Unfallen are the only faction that can discover guardian population on a planet. I assume they're supposed to be the same thing that the Guardians are in Endless Legend. They are always depicted as trees here, but I think the idea is they're the same deal as the Endless Legend Guardians. So yeah, that's cool. The Unfallen came around and revealed the Guardians here, and they're just, just chilling with us. So notice, they increase the influence output of the planet if we are friendly with the faction that has the Guardian trait that allows them to see the Guardians. So if we ever go to war with the Unfallen, we will lose. Not only will we no longer get that 20 influence, but these guys will actually remove 20 influence from us. And given that we're kind of, we're just barely skating by on influence, that actually would be a serious loss. Alright, what do we want to do here? Oh yes, also, the other thing about Guardians is they're trees, I guess, and you can smoke them? Sometimes you need to smoke some trees. That's just a thing that happens in life. So you can burn a Guardian population to make everybody on the planet really happy. Actually, the smoke cloud is so great that it envelops the entire system and makes everybody in the system kind of chilled out and sort of hungry for 10 turns. I guess that's an option if we end up at war with the Unfallen and the influence loss is too great. For now, let's just enjoy being friends. There is a quest anomaly here because of that unique quest thing. We don't really need a food boost. We don't really need the boost from anomalies since there aren't any. I guess we could just put up exoscience stations. I don't really want to build a portal. Yeah, then I suppose we do this. I know we're still kind of hungry for industry, or for titanium, but we're working on it. We're doing everything in our power to get that going. Alright, where is the Argosy right now? Does the Argosy appear on this list? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't remember what I last settled. It's been a day. A big, weird day. The Argosy looking around over here? Oh, I think we were planning to move the Argosy over there. That's right, I just resettled Ikema. The Argosy is resting in Ikema's garrison. Or in Ikema's hangar, rather. Do we want to run another law? Probably not. We're actually slightly negative on dust. If we were to put this on, we'd be really negative on dust. Cram Exam Act is unlikely to be the right call, given that we have 63 population. 6 turns left on the Pulse House booster. Alright, so while we're waiting for the Argosy to regenerate... I guess food. Food is good here. Could benefit from some food. We need to keep getting... we need to get these cold planet types available to us. Let's grab Graviton Research and hardship bonus incentives real quickly. Because first of all, obviously, the buildings that they unlock are tremendous. But secondly, they unlock the Arctic and ice colonization types, which are important for us. We have a couple of systems where we currently could make use of those. Yep, and that's flipped Talitha over. So with Talitha, we are still just a little bit under our colonization threshold. Remember, when we hit the colonization threshold, we're going to lose the approval bonus from core worlds. So we have to be a little bit careful about that. We have to make sure we are in a position where that is a reasonable thing to do. Taking control of this planet, we've gotten a whole bunch of Hyperium, which is not exactly where we want to be. Hyperium is not the most valuable resource we could have gotten there. Let's talk about our level 3 modernization, because we have it available. So, we have Red Sang, It's really easy to buy Red Sang, and we're constantly getting it from quests and stuff. We could throw some Red Sang in there. A lot of food obviously has some value. I like antimatter a lot as a booster. We're getting 8 of it per turn. We're not spending it very quickly. And a lot of our systems are either already developed or rapidly developing, such that I don't know that we need the food from the Adamantian booster so badly. I do think that the industry from this never stops being useful. But, like, do we want to just do that? Because those are... Oh, that's very expensive. That's an awful lot of those resources. Yeah, we're getting enough resources for one of these every 9 turns. That's not ideal. Still getting a ton of Eden Incense. We might be at a part in the game where it makes a lot of sense to do Eden Incense in a booster. I think I might just do this. Because the growing influence bubbles definitely have value. Being able to run more laws would be nice. We're really pressing up against our influence limit as it is. I think we're going to do it this way. We'll just have to take it slow on assigning those system upgrades. Be careful with our antimatter supply. Alright, what have we found? We found Hyperium. Hooray! How did you know, game? It's just what I always wanted. Hey, an annoying magnetic field. You know, the bad kind of magnetic field. And this planet, Dobrinia 2, is hollow. Hollow enough for us to jam a whole extra unit of population in there. Well, we're discovering a lot of interesting stuff out here, that's for sure. I don't know how the minor factions get along without having, like, just the basics of civilization built up. Can you believe they don't all already have the same technology and values that we have? Ridiculous. What a ridiculous notion. I mean, like, is there a play here that's smarter than just recover our manpower and then go and do the same thing we did to Akima, but on Corvis? In fact, we've already recovered our manpower. We have enough manpower generation here, partially from food, that we just refilled our ships immediately. And we just push Horatio out of the game if we can, right? I don't see any reason not to. He was shouting at us about our actions being tantamount to war.
It gives me pleasure to force this down your throat.
Not a thing you should, in general, say to people that you're not very familiar with. This guy and I are not on a first-name basis. I think this was very inappropriate. Also, ew, I don't even want to know what gives you pleasure, man. You and I are not friends like that. Alright, so our ships are still privateers. They still appear to be pirates, although we know that it seems that Horatio is seeing through that. Yeah, let's just go down here and have at him. Now, one thing I will say is a little bit of a bummer, is I was hoping that our non-aggression pact with the pirates would help us know where the pirate lairs are, because we can only use pirate lairs that we can currently see as basis for teleportation. So what, like, it might be better for us to take Corvis and then jump from Gano to Aldebaran and take Hadar to come down to Ingress than it is for us to just fly across. And I'm thinking I'm not so worried about the travel time of flying across, but rather the fact that if we take Ingress, then we have to worry about reinforcements from this direction and that direction. Might be best to just approach from an edge. This is my current hack. I'm currently running a hack to Corvis that's going to end up not being relevant. Oh no, that's not true. I can use that hack to cheat their ground tactics, right. Actually, will totally be relevant. Well, in that case, I think we are good to go here. That does seem like a pretty useful hack, honestly. So that being the case, I think we wanna show up to Corvis and just hang out, right? I don't even want to spend any manpower. Okay, so they discovered our hack. They're gonna run that trace and possibly cancel it? I don't know.
Feel free to anger.
I'm not interested in your weird shouting. The Sophons are attacking my scout. How dare they? Let's have a look at their ships real quick. So they have access to medium vessels. We're seeing a lot of bullet weapons here. Bullet weapons, lasers. And then, of course, I mean, the design of these minor faction vessels, obviously, does not tell us anything about their ships. But they're all projectile defenses, which is a little bit awkward for us. Our behemoths will be really strong against them. Behemoth singular, I guess. We gotta research some more stuff before we can build more of them. Alright, obviously we're gonna retreat. That's a shame. I was hoping to search all those lovely curiosities. That's alright. The Sophons have sealed their own fate with that maneuver. They get to go next. Horatio... Let's finish Horatio off now. More because he was a jerk to us last game than because of anything that happened this game. We've unlocked the design for Stim City. If you have a luxury deposit in system, you're in luck. Endless blueprints discovered at a recent dig site give precise details of how freshly excavated luxuries can be used as natural stimulants that attack the pleasure centers of the brain. Oh good, that's what I want people to do to my pleasure centers. By covertly deploying this tech in the system's entertainment capital, the entire system population can enjoy a happier, more approving frame of mind. Well, I mean, okay, that's an alright structure. I do love approval. While exploring this planet, you come across a small, harmless community of Horatio. Apparently the survivors of a crash-landed spacecraft. These people have lived on this planet for over a decade, enjoying the tropical climate, and adorning their habitations with rocks, shells, and other useless objects. They seem quite surprised when you tell them their little conclave is just 1 or 2 years away from being wiped out by a natural cataclysm. Help them find a new place to live, won't you? So just bring the Horatio vessel to a place where we can hold them. Well, fortunately, that's going to be quite easy to do, thanks to the magic of teleportation. We'll just get them over here to Aldebaran, and then fly them from there to Quorum, right? Are they not gonna teleport? Nothing changed about our, oh. People are starving on Akima. Yep, that is a negative... Huh. We're showing as having positive food due to the Golden Age, and yet starvation. Why starvation? Yeah, the math is right. We really do have positive food. Systems ecstatic. I'm not clear on why this is happening. Well, I guess I can't really do anything about it. It's just gonna happen until it stops happening. Yeah, that's really weird. There's no spy action that causes population to just die, is there? You can make them sleepers, but like the whole point of a sleeper is that it is still in place, apparently normal, right? Alright, so Horatio Most Perfect just has a couple of crappy minor faction ships here. Let's run them off. So you want to be long range, and these ships want to be short range. Let's just get these guys over into the short range flotilla. Actually, I would rather do science from scrap here. Put all these ships in the middle. Okay. Now, their ships are all going to be in the middle as well, because they have to be. They're going to start at long range. Okay, and they're missile ships, so they're mostly going to get their projectiles shot down. This should be a very easy fight. We probably will not take almost any damage here. Okay, yep, that was the retreat. Oh, they just fled. Well, yeah, that makes sense. That seems reasonable. Alright, just sit here and siege them down slowly until the hack finishes, at least. Oh. Oh, yes, I am broke. You're right. Good call, game. Well, I think there's something we can probably do about that. Bam. Problem solved. We gotta solve that problem in a more permanent way at some point here. Alright, I think the only thing that really matters here is keeping the scientists in power, but we don't need to throw our official support behind them because they're obviously going to win the election anyway. So I think we're going to try to get the Industrialists elected as our secondary party. If we're thinking about going for kind of a war footing, I would really like to have the Industrialists in place because they do some pretty good stuff for your ability to build big ships that you use to murder people. Now, our official support has a somewhat limited effect. It looks like the Industrialists are going to win here, but in part that has a lot to do with our population demographics and stuff. It's not really because of our official support. It helps, though. So, Kexox Six Socks Drews, welcome to the Senate. Means we need to reevaluate our laws here real quick. That is not the button that lets you do that. So now we have access to the new colony law, which gives you plus 20 food on all your systems, and also a big approval boost on all your systems whenever you gain a new colony. This does work when you take a new colony through invasion, so we probably want to run this as we get closer to taking out Corvis, but we can't afford to have it on all the time. Conflict has broken out between two of your trusted advisors. Two war heroes, once dearest friends, have nearly come to blows over the management of the Industrial Party. They trade insults in the press and don't print retractions. One, a young upstart who has made enemies and allies with his decisive decision-making, argues the party should adopt more taxes and tariffs in order to regulate the Empire's debts. We are having some debt problems. The other, a fine negotiator but dedicated opportunist, cautions against bold action and worries about the government's relationship with large businesses and the foreign empires, if such acts are taken. Their argument is as much personal as it is professional. Whichever advisor you back will have plenty of ammo to throw at the other as their rivalry continues. Well, it certainly does not help us to increase our star system trade value, but as much as I want more dust, I don't know if I want to convert food into dust. I like my food. I like having it to eat. I'm going to go this way. Because I think actually converting food into dust is kind of a bummer for us right now. We're really trying to grow a lot of systems all at once here. Speaking of growing systems, how is the capital doing on population space? We have a little bit of room left. As we approach the population cap here, I'm going to want to... I guess we want to start shipping off Pulsos right now, don't we? So where are systems nearby where there is population space to grow? Osilo could use some Pulsos. We just drag them down here to the spaceport and direct them toward that. Like I explained last time, I'm going to try to get at least one Pulsos on each system so that we can have a chance of them being the reproducing population everywhere all the time.
For so long, we thought
And we have formally met the Umbral Choir. Must have seen one of his ships run through there. Okay, interesting. I don't know that we're going to have a lot of useful ways of interacting with him right now. Where is detection technology? Is it science or is it military? Detection is military, cloaking is science, right? Yeah, we're definitely going to have to get on some antimatter channeling. So I guess actually this is the time to do that, right? We have our system development that we can't even use yet, so we're waiting on that. I suppose actually it would be worth getting a citadel, because it is possible for the other players to build a star-destroying missile, and I would really love it if our capital system was guarded against that to some degree. It'd be a real problem. We're going to be at war with people all the time, especially. Yeah, alright, let's stop off and get Citadel blueprints, and then we will come back and maybe research some more specialized behemoth blueprints. Juggernauts are very powerful. And then obliterators are the ones you research if you would like to blow up some stars yourself. I don't think this will be necessary or productive, frankly. We want to own systems, not destroy systems. Yeah, I'm not sure what we'll do next. Let's get this done first. We know we want this. Well, if I'm not going to be allowed to go to Duel, then we gotta figure out something else. I guess it makes some sense for me to come over here. Let's just get to that as quickly as possible, and we'll try to check out what's beyond this system. If we're thinking about getting aggressive, it pays to know exactly where the other players are. Alright, so we're being traced. Hopefully the trace will not finish. Oh, I do have the diplomatic option to stop, ask these guys to stop doing that. Hey, maybe don't attack my ships. Let's see if they're into that.
You're making the Sophonoty nervous.
Okay, so them refusing to attack refusing to stop attacking our ships has increased their diplomatic pressure on us, but it gives us some options that unfortunately are not super relevant to us. I was kind of hoping they'd just back down. Yeah, these don't really do anything. Alright, I guess I'll take evasion on my ships that are near their stuff. Not actually useful. We can see even more curiosities now. And we do have a couple new hacking programs. It doesn't seem like we have been hacked. I mean, and nothing obvious has happened, right? But maybe nothing obvious would happen. Maybe I should be setting up defensive programs on my systems that are near Corvis. Systems that are near other players. So blocks the create backdoor outcome for any hostile hacking op that passes through this node. That's really interesting. Actually, that on Ikima would be really valuable, because that's sort of the bottleneck into the rest of our empire, right? And then, is it too expensive? No, it is not too expensive to run and encrypt. So maybe we also run an encrypt on Ikima? Thing is, I'm not really sure how traces work. Like, how are our traces initiated? Is it the case that any defensive program has a chance to initiate a trace? Or is it the case that any one of our systems can always initiate a trace? I have an encrypt running on Kerr. That's probably not actually necessary anymore. Because if we're going to run an encrypt anywhere, right, we run it here. Interrogate increases the bandwidth cost of hacking programs running through this node. I guess we'll encrypt Ikima. The information bottleneck to the rest of our empire, for the moment at least. Forum is still very hackable, but security, this is not a good shape for security. We don't have the bandwidth to guard everything. So unfortunately, our plans are coming along a little bit slowly. The Argosy is ready to set out once more.
Our purpose is to kill.
Okay, the Cravers are going to threaten us a bunch. Their purpose is to kill. I don't know if you know that, but they're going to make sure you know that. We're going to hear that a lot. Do we actually know exactly where the Cravers are? We saw Craver ships over here, right? In fact, that's a Craver ship right there. So they could be beyond Horatio. They also could be down this arm. And Horatio is just harassing my ships. Harassing ships full of his own people. His own person? Because they're all, they're all him, really. I don't know. It's confusing. The point is, I would think that this is a ship he would not want to shoot at. There's pretty good odds that it has his face on the front, right? You would think that would deter him, but no, apparently. Is Owentho the place where we want to put our next system upgrade? It doesn't need the food quite as badly as some other systems, but... that's actually not true. This is a pretty low food place. Yeah, alright. Level 2 modernization here. We're starting to get resource income that will allow us to actually use our titanium and hyperium for stuff. But you know what? I'm going to run him off. Here's what I think of you and your threats, man. We would like to be medium, ideally.
Our purpose is to kill.
They insist that we stop attacking them. This is what this interaction looks like from the other side. Obviously, I refuse. We're going to end up with militarists in our Senate, probably. I don't know. There's a lot we can do to stop that. And frankly, it's fine. You know, we're going to be doing military things. Alright, it's probably time to start building up the pulvis production centers. Now that we actually have some titanium income, because we do need to get our dust under control. We can't afford to sell things all the time. So the Argosy is up. We cannot inhabit another system without losing our core worlds bonus. And losing our core worlds bonus would actually have a pretty big effect on us right now. But we could research one of these technologies that increases our expansion disapproval threshold. We could grab, like, cultural inverdicts here, which is a pretty powerful technology. Does mean that we're not going back to military research for a bit. It's maybe not ideal. It really is quite a good technology, though. The Wellbeing Foundation and the Autonomous Administration improvement are both really powerful. They're also quite expensive, right? Yeah, this one costs a bunch of influence, and this one costs 25 antimatter. Well, you know, could be worse. And I see that our capital is ready for level 3 modernization, which I think we want to pursue immediately. That's actually going to fix a significant amount of our money problem. Alright, so you guys should probably privateer up and then join us over here. We are 2 turns off of that hack completing, if it is indeed going to complete. And so, the point I was trying to make there is, I think it's okay for us to go settle somewhere. So do we want to do Dobrinia? Tor is a pretty good science and dust generator, not a lot of living space, unfortunately. And it's paired with a barren world. So, not a lot of living space there either. I would have really liked to take one of these two. Unfortunately, the pirates really love the systems that have all the planets on them. Also, we see a player border here, very faintly. Who is that? Who is that color? We don't know who is that color. Or rather, we do, you know, I could use the Academy Hero list to find out, but also we're just going to find out next turn, so maybe let's not worry about it. Alright, so is there anywhere obvious, like, over here where we would want to settle? Duyal's actually pretty compelling, just for the raw number of people that it can hold. But we would have to clear it out a little bit first. I'm going to go for it. Let's see if we can make that happen. So we'll have the Argosy move to here. And I don't know. I don't know what else my plan is. I'm going to have you turn around. That's part of the plan. We'll fire some probes up there. We'll try to find a moment where it is not covered in enemies. Alright, so our big ship is finished, and we are now a serious force to be reckoned with. Oh, I totally forgot we were doing this. Okay, 60 mushrooms for us. Ah, the United Empire. The United Empire in sort of this grape popsicle color. Oh, I'm not actually here yet. Can't scan the anomalies on the system if you are not in the system. Wow, that is a pretty powerful defensive skill that we will get no benefit from. Minus disapproval in the system is maybe valuable, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to be better than transformational leadership. And honestly, we probably still need to get clerical corrections. This is probably what we'll get next. We have a luxury deposit here. Yeah, let's go ahead and get it. We have the production to power through some of this stuff here. Let's go ahead and grab predictive logistics and then science. We need more science. We're finally in a position to get more science. Yeah, we kind of need to build predictive logistics like pretty much everywhere. I guess we have other stuff that we can build first here. There are other things of value. This is kind of great here. Alright, so that's a lot of food. A lot of food incoming anyway. Okay, we finally stopped starving. That's good. Population is increasing. Not sure why it stopped in the first place. Probably want to try to focus our population on Ikema... Well, we want to be focused on Ikema 3 first, right? Unless we need the approval from being on a hot world. It's like, it would be really nice if we could get the food going, which means that AI labor is not valuable immediately. This doesn't really do a ton here. Well, plus 10% food. Even without any bonus food from luxuries, plus 10% food is actually quite a bit. Because that's going to be before your consumption, right? Yeah, we'll get this first. Epigenetic crop seeding can wait until we have enough population for it to actually be good. Oh, interesting. This planet has suddenly become yellow. Who is yellow? I cannot remember who is who in this game. Yellow is the Riftborn. Okay, well that probably doesn't affect us, because like we decided not to settle in that direction anyway. Yeah, this is, it'll take us a little while to continue spinning up our, what do you call it? Our war machine. After we take Corvis, it may be the case that we are in position. Let's jam their commands. It may be the case that we are in position to stop all the sneaking around and just go really hard. Actually declare proper war. The new industrialist movement on Ikema is causing more problems than you would like. Apparently, some political organizations have been spearheading a civilian movement to tear down the old, destroying valuable cultural monuments and priceless artifacts in an attempt to usher in a new industrial era. If this is allowed to continue, intellectualism and innovation on Ikema will be crippled for decades to come. Still, the near-fanatical energy of this movement is doing wonders for the systems industry. Ikema does have a lot of important stuff that needs building yet, and a 20 science loss is not going to affect the Empire science output as a whole that much. I think we can ignore them. Keep letting them do what they do. The Pulsos have run out of Red Sang. How much do they need now? Still only 5, sadly. Oh, that reminds me. We need to get on transferring them. Turns out the Harmony are also doing pretty well. Let's boost their likelihood of being born as well. Which is reproducing very quickly on their home system. And that reminds me, I am not reliably sending out Pulsos. So you can see here, this point of Pulsos population that we are mailing to Osulo hasn't arrived yet. It does take time, and it's very dangerous to do this across open space where they might get predated. I'm not worried, though. So let's send another guy out, not to Osulo, but to, like, Oentho, maybe? Yeah, Oentho could use some more population. Maybe we should be doing the same thing with the Harmony. So is this Harmony World here? No, this is Mavros World. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought this was the Harmony World, but we have 5 Harmony population, it says. Where do the other ones come from? Huh, there are 2 in Kerr. Well, I don't know how they got here, but I guess they can stay. So we might want to also try to distribute Harmony throughout our systems. Try to get those birth rates up.
Only make the war more painful.
Okay, now they're threatening to declare war on me. And we've met the Riftborn, and we've met the Lumeris.
Well, comrade.
Okay, and for some reason these guys think that we're friends. Listen, having one player in the world who isn't interested in immediately declaring war on me sounds just fine. Yeah, see, our movement no longer seems to take the portals that are supposed to be on pirate systems into account. I wonder what happened there. Alright, well, if that's not going to work, then we probably need another portal. You know what? Go ahead and finish the intensive cultivation, and we'll just move the ship the old-fashioned way here, the slow way. Alright, so we need another hack running. One thing we could do is we could hack the pirates and try to lower the cost of our diplomatic relations with them, right? Because that might lower the amount of dust we'd have to pay them for support. Try to get these guys actually all the way on our side. Then again, how much do I actually care about our faction quest, right? I don't know. Let's go ahead and do the drop here. So we have an awful lot of manpower in reserve. They're gonna have a lot more bodies available here for the first few turns than we will, but they're on this terrible, terrible battle tactic. Turns out we can overcome their superior manpower by just exploiting their intense panic and stupidity. So, if I want to run another hack, I think it's not going to be worth trying to interact with the pirates because it's still going to be really expensive, right? Maybe what we should be doing here is this... Okay, this is actually a system now. I'm wondering if what we should be doing here is installing sleepers in an empire that we're not going to go to war with for a while. To start building up our ability to steal from people. Rassam might be a really good place to do that, actually. So, like, what if we ran a hack from... Nope, that is not one of my systems. Here we go. The neutral system ring looks a lot like the You Are the Orange player ring. How long does this hack take? Man, it's going to be forever, isn't it? So we want to go all the way to Rassam. Yeah. That's a little long. It makes a lot more sense if we take Duil first. We're not really close to doing that, though. We could just drop a sleeper in this guy's empire. Not super valuable to just have one, right? I guess let's try hacking the pirates and just see what that looks like. What the actual benefit of attempting to boost our diplomatic relations with them. Alright, so we'll run the hack like this to give us a little bit of time if they start tracing it back. We could throw an accelerator on their system. I don't know that it's necessary with the number of nodes I'm going through. I'm gonna try not doing that. Will 3 proxies be enough? I don't know. I hope so. I'm gonna shoot a probe over that way. Let it determine for us whether or not we are faced with enemies. Oh good, 20 more Hyperium. Also, this planet's fake. Well, let us analyze it and discover a technology. Hidden deep within. Probably it will be a terrible technology, that's my guess. But you know, there are worse things. Worse things than a free bad tech. Make this United Empire guy like us even more. Ooh, we discovered Quadronix. Also, a battle tactic that allows us to minimize short-range damage taken. Okay. I mean, that could certainly be useful. Alright, so all of my idle fleets are actually good. Well, I guess there's no reason for you to hang around there. We could develop some diplomatic ability and try to actually make friends with Purple in the hopes of having somebody to get our back should we need such a thing. Sounds like a lot of work, though. What if we just didn't have any friends, but we did have a whole lot of spaceships? All the time spaceships. Yeah, this Para-Raider thing kind of sucks. But it's certainly better than a stampede. Alright, yeah, so we're wearing them down really quickly here. Set our battle tactics for free. If you try to edit your set of battle tactics cards more than once per 10 turns, you have to pay an influence cost, I believe. It's not a big deal. Alright, where do we want to spaceport some more dudes to? Gem? Kerr still has some population room. So does Talitha. Although, you know, we probably just want there to be harmony over here for right now. Ikema. Ikema really has space. Really, really has space. And in the interim, probably we go for science stuff, right? We're going to get deep in military tech. We're going to need the research rate to actually make that happen. Or if we're going to plan to get deep in military tech anyway. That guy... Okay, he did run. He just kind of disappeared. I thought for a minute there maybe he was destroyed. But you know what it might have been? It might have been that he retreated over a wormhole. We don't have wormhole vision. There might be one right here. In fact, that would make a lot of sense as to how Horatio was able to reach Corvis so early and take it over. You know, I often don't bother to research the wormhole vision early on. And I think usually that's pretty justified. But, I don't know, maybe I should get it. So Horatio is just hanging out around the pirate world. That's inconvenient for us for a number of reasons. Oh, you know what? I wonder if the apparent loss... Well, no, I was going to say I wonder if the apparent loss of the pirate world teleportation ability is because all of the pirate worlds are sieged, but we still don't even have the icon here that tells us that they have teleporters. Well, you're kind of trapped then, man. Yeah, that's really inconvenient. We could just do this, right? Just free space it the whole way? I guess he has nothing else to do. Usually you don't want to do a thing like that, because it takes forever. I don't think I want to attack the Lumeris. I don't know where they are. They could potentially be a useful trading partner, though, until we decide to conquer them. Which is a thing that's definitely coming, but a thing we are not going to talk to them about at all. Just let it be a pleasant surprise for everybody. We should probably grab these. I don't really want to wait for a scout ship to come back. Alright, so we know these ships don't actually need to move anymore. We've got all of our buildings all settled. Yeah, it is a little bit of a shame that things worked out the way they did with our mobility, because it's going to make it a lot slower to spin up the war machine against Horatio. But we're very close. And at this point, we don't really need them to be stampeding anymore, because they're already under half of their manpower deployment limit. I guess the stampede prevents them from using a battle tactic that has any positives on it as well, even once the actual effect of the stampede is no longer meaningful. We're probably looking at 1 or 2 more turns on that one. Finally getting around to building the portal at Ikema, just as the ships that might use it finally arrive. Interesting, the Vine ships are out here trying to vine this up. I think if we can get the Argosy here before they finish, we can take it from them. Boy, we have a lot of turns left to go, though, don't we? We might not make it. The thing is, Vine ships don't have any weapons on them. And our scout ships are weak, but they have more than no weapons. So I think I'm going to have the scout ship run up here and attack, and the Unfallen are probably not going to be super cool with that, and they're just going to have to deal. Oh, also, I'm going to finally search these. This is the whole reason I came over here in the first place. Ooh, 100 Empire Science. It's funny, like, the 100 Empire Science reward is pretty rare, I think. It's intended to be, you know, you're supposed to be like, oh wow, hey, that's so much more science than normal. But 100 is so little science. Like, even by turn 15 or so, 100 is so little science that it can't possibly matter. I'm going to attack these guys, and they are going to fail to deal any damage to me at all. And I am going to not deal that much damage to them, but I'm hoping that they'll just be scared. Look, I have guns. No, I mean, they know that they can just sit here. The good news is, I probably will do enough damage to kill one if I have to do that again.
Unfallen is
That's true, I am not seeking harmony. Well, I am seeking a certain kind of harmony. A certain sort of peace, you might say. Or, let me ask you this. Is a grave not peaceful? My suspicion is he would not, he would not be receptive to that line of reasoning. Let's attack these guys, try to blow up that one ship. Each vine ship is adding vines to the system. So if we can destroy some of the vine ships, we will slow down the rate at which they are entwining it, and hopefully be able to keep it free of their influence until the Argosy can arrive. Hey, we got him. We totally got one. Okay, that event has come to an end. This event has come to an end. That is a little bit of a shame. I was enjoying all of that science. Oh, we also discovered that Talitha has Orichalcix on it. That's nice. We now have two sources of that. It seems like Quadronix might be a little harder to come by. Yeah, there's a lot of Orichalcix out here. Alright, I'm not even going to try to take Corvis. I just don't want him to have Corvis. No Horatios. None allowed anywhere. I guess this is going to give away the game a little bit. Although, he's talking like he already knows. And I think he probably, like, it's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious what we're doing out here. Okay, so we get another new hero for free. If you're wondering why we are periodically getting heroes for free, there is a hero point thing. Basically, you are always creating hero points. And at certain thresholds of hero points, you get heroes, I believe. To be honest with you, I don't pay a lot of attention to this system. I just kind of let it give me free stuff when I get free stuff. So, Rilkata here is a guardian. And as a guardian, she has access to some pretty good ship tech. An improved version of the damage skill. Iron Discipline is cool. Battlefield Grandmaster obviously is very good. Plus 25% damage on the whole fleet is a big buff. As a Vaulter, she gets extra hull plating for ships and extra movement. That's not totally amazing. It is nice to have a Guardian, though, leading your fleets. And, like I said, we're getting to the point where I think we want to have somebody obviously leading the fleets, because we're going to, like, actually go to war. So maybe we want to take her on. Yeah, alright, let's do that. Now, unfortunately, we can't attach her to this fleet right now. I can't attach her to this one either. I will just grab 10% fleet health, or... probably movement is the most important thing. Extra movement for her fleet. And we're just going to make her own little fleet on Kima. And she can run down from there. Actually, I should not have done that. What I should have done was re-equipped her ship while she was still in friendly territory. Ah well. We'll survive. It is not the type of error that totally ruins things. How many turns are we looking at on this? It's still quite a few, right? 3? Well, the vines don't seem to be taking root just yet. They have to be drawn through Ying to get over here. Oh no, a hostile trace was detected. We're bouncing that hack off a couple of systems. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It appears that an intergalactic congress of scientists has turned into a labor dispute. They have come to the conclusion that their work is grossly underappreciated and plan to halt all experimental efforts until their wages improve, their lab equipment is upgraded, and their work reported more professionally. Yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying. Who cares about science? This is not a good direction to go in. This is not a good way to not a good way to operate a society. That said, I do love plus 30 industry on all the colonies in the Empire. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Maybe it's time to do something. Let's get this extra science going. We're gonna have to pay for it, but it's not that long of a penalty. And we are working on... And we were working on some dust stuff. Like, did we actually finish? Oh no, we don't have pulvis production here. This is going to help quite a bit. We're going to have to sell some stuff for sure, but I think we can hold out through this penalty. Horatio wants me to move my fleets out of his territory. Oh, because I now have fleets at Corvis, right? I refuse. I will not remove my ships from your territory. So this is going to increase our diplomatic pressure on him, but he's going to have a choice of responses. I don't think this is going to matter too much. He has denounced us to everybody else, so he's reduced our influence pressure against everybody else. That actually does matter a little bit. I don't think we were producing a tremendous amount of diplomatic pressure on anybody anyway. Alright, so we'll clear that out next turn. Let's see, we probably want to go after Efficiency Aficionado. He's on Kerr. Is there... Yeah, a lot of our planets on Kerr are hot, actually. All of them. So this is actually a fantastic skill here. I like that quite a bit. Oh hey, it turns out there was Quadronix on Talitha as well. Well, what a valuable system we've discovered here. I mean, you guys are good. We should probably merge these two together. Aside from that, you guys are good. Here we continue to attack the ships. I think I didn't switch it over to science from scrap last time, so we didn't get the 20 science when I destroyed that one vine ship. Alright, we'll destroy another one next turn. Yeah, they're coaxing the vines over, but we still have plenty of time here, I think. I could have made that ship into a pirate ship. I probably should have before sending it over there, since I knew there was a chance we were going to be encountering other players. But also, I don't really care if the Unfallen know that I'm aggressive. I don't think that really changes anything. Alright, let's burn Corvis's civilization to the ground here, and then I think that'll probably be an okay stopping point for this episode. Gano's hacking operation has been successfully traced. Oh no. Well, hold on. It's just been traced. Progress of your trace operation from Ikima on Gano. Oh, okay. I'm misunderstanding what's here. So yeah, I want to shut down this hack, right? That's just the pirates hacking us. And I thought we were friends, he said as he hacked them. Oh no, our hack ran out here, so now they're able to use their draft tactic to conscript points of population into the defense of the system, which is unfortunately going to slow things down a little bit. And they absolutely will just destroy all of the population in that system, trying to stop us from basically doing the same thing. I think we're just building science stuff here. Continuing to do research does seem important. Our empire's kind of all over the place in terms of capabilities right now. And also, honestly, like, direction to some degree. Man, we really need more influence, or more industry here. Well, unfortunately, there's not much I can do about it. It's just kind of a low industry system. This is what happens when there are no hot worlds. Alright, so here we attack one final time. We will get our 20 science. I will remember to switch our battle plan. If you use a battle plan a bunch, it makes that the new default, but the problem with that is we've been switching a bunch because the fleets over to our galactic west use a different tactic. Alright, so I think... Oh no, we're not going to be able to get Duel because the damn... Alright, can we starve them out? You cannot inhabit a planet that has an outpost on it with the Argosy. I don't know how this even happened. Should have been in guard mode the whole time. I just didn't even really think it was going to be a problem. I didn't even consider that these guys might ruin everything. Well, Ying would also be an acceptable settle, but I don't know if we're allowed to put down over here with the vines completely encircling it. I guess as long as the Unfallen haven't actually taken one of the planets. Probably we are? Yeah, probably. Okay, we've discovered the home system of the United Empire. Hey, not a bad resource to have on your home system. Also, shrapnel munitions. Kill additional manpower per hit with projectile weapons. This is... use it to kill the opponent's manpower, if you have projectile weapons. Yes, that is a good restatement of the previous sentence. That's an alright tactic. We could try to do a manpower destruction boarding party thing. I find that that's often very effective if you're going for a heavy military game, because it helps keep you from running out of ships. You know, obviously you expect to take some damage as you maraud your way across the galaxy. It's nice to be able to replace those losses very easily. We could definitely use the food from a system modernization here. And over on Talitha, I suppose we could get to making actual buildings and stuff again. Man, we really, really need production here. I mean, unlocking Talitha 1 is a good way to get it, right? Hot gas planets produce a lot of production. But we might just have to actually wait on that, which feels terrible. Alright, how's my Empire population balance going here? Are we getting somewhere? Not really. So you notice it says 4 pulsos. That's not really 4 pulsos. What's happening there is that the points of population that are in transit are not counted in your current Empire population. You know, we did get those ionic crystals from searching that planet. We may as well use them. And then, I know I haven't been doing this consistently, and I really should be. But let's go ahead and remember to move another point of pulsos population off of this system. To... oh, I don't know. We sent one to Kur already. I don't think I sent one to Quorum, and there is room for them on Quorum, so let's do that. Parting to Quorum. Alright, hopefully this will work out in the long run. Frankly, this is maybe a little bit later than we should have started doing it. I had a lot of trouble actually putting together the things we needed to get that system upgrade going. But yeah, I think this is an okay place to stop. I'm a little bummed out that we couldn't get Corvis. Unfortunately, they were able to use real battle tactics again, which is definitely going to slow things down. We could just unpirate and reveal ourselves and declare proper war on Horatio, and then we'd get to use real battle tactics too. Now that the large ship is in place here, we're much less likely to get destroyed. Honestly, that may well be what we do. I'll consider it. This is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when maybe we lower the veil. And we'll see you then.